In a rare brand new interview with CBS Mornings, Eric Church talked about his brand new bar Chiefs in downtown Nashville on Lower Broadway, as well as his residency that he is currently holding out at his brand new bar. But it was in this interview where we got to see a side of Eric Church that we don't normally get to see in his interviews. As we know, it is already very rare for Eric Church to do press, but in this particular interview, he opened up very candidly and became vulnerable, speaking about darker days throughout his life and career that we've never really heard much about before. And the three topics that Eric Church talked about in this interview all happened within a 1-year period of each other. Those three topics consisted of a near-death experience, then the devastating, unimaginable shooting that took place at the Route 91 festival in Las Vegas, as well as the loss of his brother, Brandon Church. First in the interview, Eric Church discussed the near-death experience that he had, where doctors ultimately saved his life, as it was an unknown circumstance and an unknown time period of how long Eric Church actually had dealing with this ailment. Eric Church told CBS Mornings, "It was the first time I think in my life I had maybe evaluated my own mortality, one, but then a lot of other people's mortality too. The Vegas thing was a hard thing to handle, and then my brother died right after. So it was 3 things in a row that were life-altering experiences that happened within 1 year. It's the thing you see in movies where the doctor comes in and he drags the chair over and he turns it around backwards, sits down in front of you, and I thought, this is not good. I said, bad news? And he said, yep. He said, you have a massive blood clot. It's about 3 inches. And he said, it's right here at your neck below your collarbone. I said, okay. He said, you're going to have emergency surgery now. He said, we're going to have to get you to a hospital. We don't do it here. Church joked and said, being a college basketball fan, I said, just don't take me to Duke, which it's funny because that's where they took me, by the way. Church then asked, I said, can it kill me? And he said, today. I said, okay. When I get to Duke, the surgeon was dressed, and I said, we're going to do this now? He said, right now. He said, we're going to prep you now. So an hour later, we went in, and the vasco surgeon went in and removed the clot. Then they told me that I had to have a rib removed because the rib, I guess I had a birth defect, and it was in the wrong spot, and it was injuring the vein. Church continued and added, I was really surprised when they told me what it was. I was like, how? I wouldn't even have ever, who would have ever? They said, actually, you're very lucky. A lot of times this is when a 40-year-old dies in the shower and we don't know why they died. We found what it was. You're lucky. It was actually a symptom and it shut your left arm down because a lot of people never have a symptom and it breaks loose and you die. So yeah, that was the biggest thing for me, was trying to process that. Eric Church then talked about Route 91 and how it broke him and how it shattered him after witnessing the events throughout the weekend. He said, I watched people that night hold up boots and sing at the top of their lungs, and then 2 days later, it was the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history. I had a lot of fans that had stayed over for the weekend to see all of the shows that got killed. Something about it just kind of broke me. I think it was the sense of what music has been for my life with the safe space part of it. I think shattering, that shattered a part of me. That was and still is a tough thing. Eric Church then talked about his brother Brandon Church, who tragically passed away after complications from a seizure. Eric Church went in to discuss how much Brandon meant to him and how much of an advocate he was for Eric Church to continue to pursue his music career, even though the beginning was very rough, and that Brandon played such an important role in keeping Eric Church focused and grounded as he was getting his career started in the music industry. And just that there was no bigger advocate behind Eric Church for becoming a country music artist. Towards the end of the interview, Eric Church said, I went through a period there, a lot of darkness in that period, 8 months of being pretty dark. I got through like everything else I've gotten through in my life. I turned to the one thing I know I can do. I wrote songs. He added, what I'm trying to show with the residency here is that it was really the songwriting and the songs that nobody's heard, that I've never put on a record because it was too personal. It was too close. I'm going to play those and I'm going to say, this is what got me through. Again, like I mentioned, it's rare for Eric Church to do press, but to see this side of Eric Church and his vulnerability and his candidness as he spoke about this dark period of time throughout his career, and it all happening within 1 year of each other. These events were back to back to back. This residency is very close to Eric Church, as he admits that the folks who are able to make it out to see these performances will get a chance to hear songs that have probably never been heard of before. They've obviously never been recorded, but this residency is going to give Eric Church a chance to become very intimate with his fans in a way that you don't necessarily get that in a 100,000, sold out stadium or a 20,000 amphitheater. And that's one thing that I've always really respected about Eric Church is that intimacy that he always likes to have and continue to have with his fans throughout his entire career. Eric Church he's no small artist. He's a very huge artist in this industry, and he's still making sure right now to find a way to have those intimate moments with fans, and his residency at his brand new bar, Chiefs, is the place where it's going to happen. I believe that will continue to happen as well. I think Eric Church will, make his way back and forth to the bar every now and again and probably have surprise performances. And if y'all get the chance to go out to Eric Church's new bar, I recommend that you do so, because there's just an experience that you will get as an Eric Church fan that you probably, as he's stating, you will never get anywhere else. And you can bet that they're probably not going to be at his larger shows. As always, guys, thank you all for tuning in here at CountryCast. That'll be all for today's video. Be sure to subscribe down below as well so you never miss out on any breaking news and updates.